On my track to making some of the world's hardest pastries, the next one on my list was croissants. Croissants are hard because you have to make sure that they're perfectly buttery and flaky, and most French pastries are already hard enough. So I started by adding some yeast and some sugar into a bowl, and I do not know why I raised that eyebrow. I was like staring into that mixture. And then after you mixed it all together, you wanted to add some warm milk. I measured this out, I believe it was around a cup and a half, and I put it in the microwave for a little bit. And you're just gonna want to mix it up for a second, make sure that it's all nice and like mixed together, and let it rise for a little bit. This is me yapping to my cameraman, telling him what to do because I was angry at him. Uh, yeah. But this recipe doesn't call for a lot of sugar. It's only like a cup, and most of it's inside of the yeast. What it really calls for is flour. A lot of these recipes call for a lot of flour. This one called for like 4 cups or something. I forgot, but it was a lot. Now, usually, if in a butter croissant, you use a butter sheet, but just to make sure that these work, I added an extra stick of butter to make sure that these really have that buttery texture. And then after that, we're going to add our sugar yeast mixture. Since sugar is very dense, it might get stuck at the bottom. It's okay. Just use a spoon, wipe it all off. You want to make sure that you get all of that in there because that's your source of sweetness. You don't really add any more sugar except that unless you want to. Or unless you make pain au chocolat, which then you add chocolate into it. It's going to look like that. The butter should be softened, and you should just mix that up for a little. It's going to become a dough, very smooth. It might be a little bit clumpy, but in total, it should end up as a very smooth dough, especially once you're done mixing. Just going to let it continue mix. And you'll see it slowly coming to be more smoother and smoother and less chunky, and turn into a more stable, better dough. Just going to continue mixing it until you finally get your end product. There you go. The dough becomes very smooth. Now, you have to refrigerate this a lot of times, so you're going to throw this in the fridge. And you're also going to make your butter sheet. Now, once that's done refrigerating, you're going to roll it out, and you're going to take your butter sheet from the fridge, and you're going to put it on there. My butter sheet wasn't very square as I wanted it to be. It was more of like a circle, and it didn't really stay together either, but it wasn't bad. And then you're going to fold it over on one side, and then fold it over again. And if I'm doing any of this wrong, please, especially the French people, tell me, because I really want to master this. I think I've got the macarons done, but this I really want to master. So then you fold it, and you're going to roll it out. Again, you could refrigerate it if the dough gets too soft. My dough didn't get too soft, so you're just going to roll it out. And then you're going to continue the folding process a couple more times. So you're going to fold it again into thirds, and then one more time like that. And then once again, you're just going to take your rolling pin and you're just going to roll it out. Make sure that it's nice and smooth. I don't know if you're supposed to be flipping it or anything, or if there's only one direction you're supposed to mix in. So if you guys know how to make these perfectly, please tell me, because I want to know. Do I need to refrigerate for longer? And this was also a 1-day recipe, and I've seen recipes that are like 3 days, and I'm like, no, I'm not making that. But if the 3-day recipes are better, please tell me, because I'll try and I'll record myself doing it and create a video. But then you have to, once you're done folding, you're going to go and you're going to refrigerate it. After it's done refrigerating, you're going to come, take it out, and you're going to roll it out some more. And now is when we're going to really want to start making our croissants, cutting them out, making them look nice. So you want to make sure that this is a rectangle, as much as a rectangle shape as possible, so that you're able to get that croissant, so you're able to make multiple croissants, because you will have to make sure that the edges are straight so they have good croissants. And so you're gonna have to cut it. So try to get it to as close as a shape as a rectangle as early as possible, so that this works. Yeah, and now you're gonna cut it into a rectangle. Mine was like had scraps like that, so you just want to make sure they cut it into a rectangle, get all those scraps off. And you can see we kind of have like some air in the dough, some flakiness already, even though it hasn't cooked yet. You can see when I cut into it, and I'm just checking to make sure it's flaky, that's thin enough, and I'm gonna roll it out. I didn't think it was thin enough. I didn't think it was thick. I didn't think it was thin enough. It was too thick, so I rolled it out a little bit more. And I don't know, but the dough needs a little bit uneven. If you look on the right side, it's a lot shorter than like in the middle. I don't know if that's a problem when it bakes, and if they'll come out lopsided. So once again, if you guys know how to make these, please tell me, because I don't know. But now we're going to cut these out into triangles, and if you're making pain au chocolat, you're able to cut them up into rectangles or small rectangles, and you're able to have chocolate. I did make pain au chocolat. I didn't record myself doing it because this is a croissant video, but they taste delicious at this also, and they look good. So you can use chocolate batons, which is what's usually used, or you can just take like a Hershey's bar or something, and and just like cut that up. This is what they look like. They look really nice. Then you're gonna crack an egg. You can add water if you want. I added some water to the egg wash. It always helps a little. And you just wanna mix it up and beat it all together. And then you're gonna take your egg wash, and you wanna make sure that you coat all the all the croissants and all the pain au chocolats. And look at this. Look how they came out. These looked and tasted delicious. Look at that pain au chocolat. But they didn't look as flaky. They were very dense. And I don't know. So please tell me what I did wrong. And subscribe. But they were good. So, that's good.